Jalen Brunson, Burgers and Onions, LeBron's Bunions, Pacers in 5.
Pacers have won each of their series so far in 5 games. Will they be able to do it again versus the Knicks? Chase, Max, and I will break it down. We're going to be talking about the Pacers, a team a lot of people probably don't know much about. I mean, they're in Indiana. So they hired Kevin Pritchard as the Pacers GM in 2012. He was appointed the head of basketball ops in 2017, and in his reign, Pacers have never really tanked. Like, they went from Paul George to Victor Oladipo team that took LeBron to 7 games. I think actually the Paul George one too. And now they're had a few seasons where they were losing a little bit, but they never truly were like tanking for the number 1 pick. And then they were in the Tyrese Haliburton area, arguably their most successful era since Reggie Miller. They made 2 back-to-back conference finals. Yeah, we're going to revisit some of the moves he's made that get them to where they are.
All right. The main move they made was getting Tyrese Haliburton, which right about now looks like a fleece of a trade. Like, the Kings have just imploded after this trade.
And at the time, I think it was more like the Kings, like people thought the Kings had won the trade with like Sabonis.
Not really.
Max is a basketball genius. He never thought that.
No, like, I don't think people were thinking that at the time. I think
this good.
Well, they had to give away Jeremy Lamb.
I thought everybody wanted them to trade De'Aaron Fox for Domantas Sabonis and keep Tyrese Haliburton. But
oh wait, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody thought
they had a like loaded backcourt, right? And so they wanted to like get rid of someone. But instead,
I don't think it's the biggest fleece ever. Like, Domantas Sabonis is still like an all-NBA level player, and they really have not, like, if you look at like the Kings front office versus like the Pacers front office and what they've done, the Kings like depth and defense is like nasty, and the Pacers defense isn't great, but at least they've got something there. It's just Kings have, unfortunately, the Kings. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, like they got their first playoff appearance in like 20 years or something. And
they apparently didn't like the taste of that, so they're like, oh, whatever, we'll screw up our future and make
we'll sign DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
The traders are trying to help the Kings get better like soon, and I think the Pacers helped build them for a better future.
Like, it just depends on how you look at it, because I know if you're a Kings fan, you definitely enjoyed those last like 2 years where they were in playoff contention. And
maybe not so much anymore.
They were even like they were like the 2 seed that one year.
Oh yeah.
But
Sabonis
now it's not looking too good.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Sabonis, he's talking with the front office about their winning future or whatever. Like, things are not looking like a lot of good players want to stay in Sacramento. They've got to definitely build up their organization a little bit more. Whereas I feel like the Pacers, like we were talking about earlier, have been sort of a sleeper organization. Like, they haven't really won a title, but they've been a good team for a very long time. Like, ever since like they joined the NBA from the ABA, even like they've had a lot of different like good eras. Like, they had the Malice at the Palace team that was very good. They had Paul George that was very good, Victor Oladipo, and now Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah, and it's just been through like finding these gems who like you wouldn't expect to be as good as they are, like Victor Oladipo, Tyrese Haliburton, and just making smart moves.
Prime Victor Oladipo on the Pacers is like so much fun to watch. I feel like
he was really good.
I mean, if you could take LeBron to 7 games, it's a pretty huge achievement in itself.
Yeah. All right, the next trade, Pascal Siakam last year.
I think this one was an actual fleece. You were giving up nothing to get an all-star, like all-NBA third-team player and like a pretty reliable scorer, especially in the playoffs when things get more physical. He's someone who could step up.
I think it is definitely a great trade for the Pacers. There was like a little concern at the time because people were worried they wouldn't be able to sign Pascal Siakam because it was the end of his contract, but they were able to, so it ended up working out for them just fine.
Yeah, for sure.
And they signed Bruce Brown to that $20 million like a year contract.
Yeah, I managed to get off that pretty atrocious contract too.
Yeah, they got off of it like half a year into the contract and only gave up 2 first-round picks.
They got a good player in return too. Yeah.
And then Jordan Noir isn't even in the league anymore. I
don't even know who that is.
He was looking good for the Raptors last year, and then he just didn't get a second contract or something.
Didn't he have that like step back like 3 where he like crossed someone on the Bucks? I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's like his one highlight.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been good trade.
Yeah, Jacoby Walters looked like a pretty decent player, but I mean, yeah, still a good trade for them.
Yeah, it's not. You're not sweating over losing Jacoby Walters.
I don't think it's a big pendulum swing in either way. I think Siakam is he's a really like good tool, and I think he's honestly pretty underrated because like when playoffs get more physical, he's someone who can like get a bucket in the paint or just go through physicality. Like he doesn't need the three or like his jump shot to work. He can just push inside and score, and that's something you do need in the playoffs. Is someone who can get a bucket when your whole like team is kind of cold. That's what I think he's been. Just shooting above like 50% shooter in the playoffs, like good second option.
And he brings good defense too to the team.
Yeah, for sure. Like good switchability, and he's got good size.
Yeah, I think right after this trade, the Pacers skyrocketed in defense. But
yeah, I mean, they have gotten better at defensively. Like you were saying, like they're actually a decent defensive team especially in the playoffs this year, and they've got a good rim protector, Miles Turner. Yeah.
All right, this next move is their most underrated move in my opinion.
Definitely, yeah.
At the time, there are all those memes where they're saying the Celtics gave up a bag of chips to get Malcolm Brogdon, but Aaron Nesmith has been very good for them. He's just a really good like do-it-all guy. He's a defensive menace and
good shooter. Malcolm Brogdon, like he's rotting away in Washington. Fortunately for him, he's like a nice guy, but he's not really the player he was. He's just kind of a mediocre guard at this point. I think probably too big a contract.
Well, speaking of contracts, the way that Kevin Pritchard has built this team, he'll be able to hold it together because of the smart contracts that he has a lot of their main pieces on. Like Nembhard and Nesmith are two like starting caliber, just like defensive guys that can like to call Nesmith a defensive guy is kind of disrespectful because he's like a lot more than that. On offense, he can play, make, shoot, and he's making just under $20 million a year, which I think is a steal. And then Nesmith making $11 million a year, and TJ McConnell not even making $10 million a year.
TJ McConnell is like top 3 backup point guards in the league. Maybe like Payne Pritchard and like Ty Jerome, or actually the way Ty Jerome's been in the playoffs, no. But I mean, you could watch TJ McConnell, and I think he's underrated, and you can just tell he's good. Like he could dribble past. He just creates so much and like so much anxiety by the defense. The way he could dribble around people.
His like floater game is also insane. Or he has that one like mid-range floater shot that always goes in.
And his defensive intensity, like he like really can help bolster the defense.
He's got 10 steals in a game.
I had him on my fantasy team when that happened, and that just came out of nowhere. And I was like so happy. I picked him up off the waivers like right before that. So yeah, I remember that. That was a crazy game.
Go on that TJ McConnell day, national holiday.
But yeah, all these guys are on like really great contracts, and it's kind of funny because we were talking about Michael Porter Jr. in the last episode and how he's getting paid more than
these guys are. More than two of these guys are making in 3 years, or 3 and 4 years in 1 year.
Yeah, and they provide more value than he does.
Yeah, the Nuggets would kill to have like Nembhard and Nesmith instead of Michael Porter Jr.
Contracts on their team. It feels like all the contracts on the team are pretty bad.
Yeah, and for the Pacers, they don't have like a single bad contract. Nesmith on $11 million a year is kind of crazy. He should be making like $20 million. Well, moving on from the front office stuff, let's talk about their current roster.
All right,
Tyrese Halliburton is really good.
Most clutch player. Yeah.
Yeah. This was talking about his clutch, but we can also just talk about the rest of his game. I mean, well, okay, going over the clutch part, like, kind of unbelievable. He shot 10 for 11 in the last 2 minutes of games when it's like within 5.
You're saying season. He hasn't missed more than one shot in the last 2 minutes of games this season when it's within 5?
I'm not sure if that's the exact stat, but it's something like that. Like it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
and
that is crazy.
You wouldn't think of Tyrese Halliburton as one of these clutch guys because you don't really think of him as like a bucket. He's more of a passive playmaker type guy.
Yeah.
Plus he's kind of got like he doesn't really have like this elite like Darius Garland or like Jalen Brunson handle. He's kind of got like a wonky handle and like a wonky shot.
Yeah, very wonky shot. And then he's also got 2 playoff game winners.
Yeah. And it sort of feels like he feels like he's doing like the moonwalk when he like does his like step back or something like that. Like he's dancing behind and he does his like shot. I think it's like a little dance once he makes it. It's funny.
And then I mean the playmaking spot, he's a top 3 playmaker in the NBA for sure.
Jokic, Doncic, and him.
I would say he's better than Luka.
Yeah,
I think at the current moment.
I'd say Luka is more flashy. But, like, he can make pretty stupid plays.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton, he does so much it doesn't even just show up in the assist numbers, even though he's leading the league in assists. Like, he can get so much done just off of, like, creating.
He's not leading the league in assists. We got to correct from his. Trae Young is.
Oh, really? But he's leading the postseason in assists, I'm pretty sure.
Jokic is doing that.
Really?
Wait, no, Jokic is... No, oh, never mind. No, I don't think so. He is.
He's averaging like 10 assists this postseason.
I think Jokic is just leading the Western Conference in assists.
But Tyrese Halliburton, the assist numbers don't show everything. He does so much just to create space for the next guy.
Yeah.
And it's
assists.
Yeah, he's not one of those just like assist farmers. Like people were calling like James Harden back in the day.
I was gonna say not only that is like his assist to turnover ratio is like really good. Like he does not turn the ball over like much at all.
It's such a nice assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, like he'll have games where he'll have like double-digit assists and like 1, maybe 2 turnovers.
He's had 20 assists, 0 turnovers. He's had games like that. Not in the playoffs. I mean, you can't average like 10 assists and 2 turnovers. Like it's just like with a winning record, if you're doing like BS assist farming or like just doing the most basic passes, you're like it's like he's a great.
Yeah, and then like other parts of his game on the defensive side. Like last week I called him one of the worst defenders in the NBA, which and I think Misha he was in the regular season. But this playoffs, he's been pretty good on the defensive side. He's been very much improved.
Thank you, Max.
I think the biggest question for him is his just scoring consistency. He still had a game where he had 4 points in this playoffs, or this last series, which is not what you want to see from your star player, but the fact that he has so many guys around him, it like just makes up for that.
He bounced back with like a 30-piece.
And Tyrese Halliburton, in my opinion, is a player who does not put up any empty stats whatsoever. Because when he has a good game, they win. Most of 90% of the time, at least. Like he has a good game, he just powers his teammates to do well, hits clutch shots, and will just will his team to victory. And that's what happens when he played 4 good games against the Cavs as they won.
And everybody was calling him the most overrated player, which...
Not everybody, just the stupid players who are jealous of his God-given abilities to kick their butt.
I think it was like only like 15 players actually like voted for it.
Probably Darius Garland voting 15.
All right. But yeah, he's been able to prove that wrong.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny now, like people are just rubbing it into like other people's faces, like you're calling him overrated. And
Overrate that.
Overrate that.
I mean, it's probably helped his game too. Like, it's got to be a huge motivator, which is probably helping him just go out and ball in the playoffs to prove people wrong.
I think the only motivation for Albert is Snow Bunnies, but I think Caitlin Clark being in the side is the only thing that's getting him.
All right, moving on from Tyrese Halliburton. Before this season, a lot of people have talked about star power and how important that is in a playoff series. A lot of the time when predicting playoff series, people have been like, oh, they have the better player in the playoff series, so they should be able to pull it out. And over this playoffs, we've seen that just doesn't matter at all. I think we've gone from the era of like star power to whoever has the best weakest link is probably going to win. And the Pacers are probably the deepest team in the league. They have like...
I think and the Thunder.
The Thunder. I don't know. Like Isaiah Joe hasn't looked amazing in the Thunder series, and I guess Aaron Wiggins has been good, but
it's like I guess it's different. Like Thunder has more defensive depth, they might have more offensive depth.
Yeah, the Pacers bench has like a ton of scorers. Like their scoring is like throughout their whole roster.
There's a swarm of like all defensive guys they could send your way, whereas Pacers is a swarm of like shooters and like scorers.
I mean, we haven't talked about Benedict Mathurin yet. He's just a really great microwave scorer. We're yet to see some of that consistency from him, but he's able to go for like 20 or 30 every couple of nights.
And when he doesn't get ejected for pushing or punching DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah. And then also Obi Toppin, just a good wing.
He can give you a fast break through the legs dunk to get the crowd hype.
No, he's a good momentum player. He could do some crazy plays with his athleticism and just some of his skills.
And I feel like his shooting has been pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, I think he shot like close to 40% this year on threes, and yeah,
he's definitely improved.
Yeah, and when one Pacers player isn't hitting his shots, they could just throw another one like Ben Shepherd or someone who could hit a 3-point shot. Like at least like a couple of Pacers bench players will be hot at any given game, which is helping them a lot.
They're also doing this with like no center depth. Like they have like Thomas Bryant playing.
Thomas Bryant is insane center depth.
I wouldn't call him
they
that.
Starting level
they had Isaiah Jackson, who was their backup, but he got hurt early this season.
I thought that was like the draft bust, whatever his name was, like the guy behind
James Wiseman.
Yeah, no, they signed him earlier this season, but
Yeah, they did sign him, but
Yeah,
Isaiah Jackson was their backup center before he got hurt.
What's been going on with James Wiseman?
He tore his Achilles. He like had a pretty bad injury or something like that. Tore his Achilles or something.
Yeah, all of these guys have been shooting really well this playoffs. I was looking at their 3-point percentages. I've got a bunch of guys shooting over 40%.
You guys think they'll be able to keep that up throughout the? I mean, that's definitely
They've kept
been.
it up
We'll
through
see.
2 years, and the Knicks aren't really known for their defense either.
Like the Knicks have OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, but when
Those
you
guys
have so many guys you got to cover, it's not as easy. You can put OG Anunoby on Tyrese or Mikal on Tyrese. You got to put Jalen Brunson on one of these guys. Yeah, we're yet to talk about their front court. They've got Miles Turner, who's their longest tenured player. He's been on Indiana for 10 years.
And he's always been in like trade rumors too. Like people are always talking about, they might trade Miles Turner, but they've
I think
held him.
early season when he's like not as good, everybody wants to put him in trade rumors, and then he shows you every like late season and playoffs why he should be on this team.
Yeah, those stats are crazy. Like 2.5 blocks, 45% from three.
Yeah, and having your two front court players shooting 44+% from three, really valuable in today's NBA with like stretching the floor and good spacing.
The thing is, both of them also don't need the three if they want to score. They both have good inside game. Siakam, like I was saying earlier, he can just attack the rim very well.
Yeah, Siakam he can do it all. He can pass, he can score, and rebounds.
Play some solid
Miles
defense.
Turner, you would like to see him rebound a little bit more, but clearly what they're doing is working. So,
and the thing is, they've got enough guys they can get like 10 rebounds from like one of their like wings or something like that.
Aaron Nesmith will give you a random like 15 rebound game.
Yeah. I think he got like 13 in their win against the Cavs or their last win against the Cavs.
All right, let's go over the conference finals matchup with them and the Knicks. I was very surprised to see these stats that the Pacers are beating them in pace, net points per game, offensive
surprising.
efficiency, and defensive efficiency.
The Pacers' pace is insane. Like they've been.
It's just crazy to see a sweep in these categories.
Yeah. No, I was about to say Pacers actually have had our fourth best record since the new year, almost identical to the Cavs. So they were rolling in like I think they were 34-14 in their last 48 games.
Chase, is this playoff stats or regular season?
Playoff.
So
I mean, the Knicks aren't a great advanced stats team because it's kind of just give the ball to Jalen Brunson, let him get it done. Where the Pacers, they have good defense, they have like a smooth offense.
Mm-hmm.
But you see sometimes in the Knicks when they aren't clicking, it's just give the ball to Jalen Brunson, and sometimes he's not scoring, so their offense just looks very stagnant.
Yeah.
But the Pacers, you don't really see that.
The Knicks do have pound for pound, let's say a top 3 starting 5 in the league. Like they've got 2 all-star starters, and I'd say the 3 other guys on their starting 5 are all borderline all-stars. Like we can't.
Yeah, you can make an argument they have the best starting lineup in the league.
Yeah.
And it's between them, the Thunder, and the Celtics.
Or maybe the Cavs are
maybe the Cavs. But I mean the bench is where the Pacers can take advantage.
Exactly. But I'd say head to head, there's only one position where the Pacers actually beat like the Knicks in, because I'd say like Jalen Brunson is a better point guard than Tyrese Haliburton, even though I love Tyrese Haliburton. I'd say
for sure.
Josh Hart better shooting guard than they have. I think Nembhard there.
I mean,
I'd say
can't really measure it like that. Like the matchups are going to be different. They'll probably have
for sure, and they'll play sometimes like the Indiana guys will. But on paper, I'm saying like I think everything except like the power forward, the Knicks have the positional advantage in the starting 5.
What's crazy is all the teams you guys listed for like the best starting 5s, almost all of them are already out of the playoffs. Like the Cavs, Celtics are out. The Thunder could be out. We'll see tomorrow night. But yeah, that's what, back to your point, Max, how you said it's all about like the depth in the playoffs. That's definitely shown to be the case.
Moving past the series, I know you guys don't like doing these like hypotheticals, but say they play, I think whoever gets out of the Nuggets Thunder series is probably going to the finals.
I agree.
So do you think they could make a legitimate run at the ring, or do you think it's just kind of over if they get to the finals?
It depends who they get. If Thunder get out and go to the finals, and I don't think any of these teams are going to be able to fight the Thunder.
The Thunder look like the better team against the Nuggets. They just kind of sell.
They've had some
all the time.
slumps from some of their guys. Like Jalen Williams has been in a slump a bit, and then like SGA has had some ups and downs.
They're so good, it's easy to forget they're like a very young team, so they're not really like the most battle tested in the playoffs. I'd say like Thunder, if they like manage to advance past the Nuggets series, they'll have seen probably I think the worst of it. I mean, T-Wolves could definitely give them a run for their money, but we'll see. I think Timberwolves is more of a toss-up. Nuggets, it would be more of a toss-up. And I think those are only three teams that have a chance.
Yeah. All right, that all we got to say on the conference finals, or is there any more?
Well, I just wanted to say, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that either the Pacers or the Knicks will be in the finals. No one would, at the start of the season, if you said the Pacers could go to the finals or the Knicks, I mean, the Knicks fans would probably been believing that for a while, but like no one actually thought that. And to hear them,
I mean,
like,
the Knicks, they had that whole thing where they couldn't beat teams over 500. Like they were
yeah,
some of the biggest odds in the league, but they've
And they should not
completely proved that wrong. Another thing we've seen in this playoffs is just how little the regular season seems to matter. Everybody thought it was basically a lock that the Celtics and Cavs would be in the conference finals, and none of them are.
And,
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true.
I was too high on the Celtics, but I was high on the Pacers, which I'm happy
And
with.
even the Thunder, everyone thought, oh, the Thunder will have an easy path to the finals, and the
no.
Nuggets are giving them a very hard time.
It's kind of insane to look back on and like how good that Boston team was like last year. Even if like the East was super easy, they still gentlemen swept the finals team out of the West. Like that's like a fully healthy finals team out of the West. That's crazy. Which I don't think any team is going to be able to do this year. Even if the Thunder get out, they're going to be so I think beaten down that like either they'll lose to the Timberwolves or they'll lose in the finals. Like or not lose in the finals, but it won't be easy for them like to get past anything. It'll also be funny. I hope the Pacers win the series. It'll be so funny if the Knicks get beaten by Indiana. It's just it would be so funny.
Indiana.
Like Indiana, yeah, beating the Knicks. Like
That would be great. Imagine Tyrese Halliburton gets a ring.
All the celebrities will be pulling up, like Timothy Chalamet, like Spike Lee, all these like.
There's a ton of celebrities at Game 6.
Yeah, all the celebrities will be pulling up
like
in the next
Ben
game.
Stiller.
The Pacers will just have like Caitlin Clark cheering on in the sidelines, and then the Pacers just upset everybody. That would be awesome. Like Tyrese Halliburton finishes a world tour of misery for teams in the East, kicks out the Knicks. Oh, that would be chef's kiss. And then and then Timothy Chalamet will go back to cheering for the Lakers with his girlfriend once that series is done. So-called world's most dedicated Knicks fan. Yeah. I saw him at the Lakers. I saw him with a Lakers jersey courtside at that game. He's not far from. You could find some random homeless man in New York who's more dedicated than he is to the Knicks.
Damn.
I saw so many clips on TikTok after they won, and they were treating it like they just won the finals, but instead they had just won the second round.
I just want to see like the Pacers wipe the smirk off the Knicks fans' face. That'll be so.
Wait, so okay, who do you guys think is gonna win this series? Because right now, I think the Pacers are the better team.
They're both hungry. They're both good at comebacks. Karl Anthony Towns, I feel like, will be, and they're such like a good offensive duo. I'm gonna go Pacers in 6. That's my prediction.
6.
Yeah, which will be hard with OG Anunoby guarding you. Like he's an insane defender.
Like with the Cavs, obviously they have those interior guys, but they didn't really have anybody to put on him on the perimeter, and neither did the Bucks. Like
Gary Trent Jr., Max. Defensive player of the year.
We're not worried about Gary Trent. He's going to be tested with Mikal Bridges and OG. I'm not. Who do you guys think will guard him?
I think OG is a better defender.
Yeah, I think OG is a better defender, but Mikal does better against the like lengthy guys. It seems like
maybe Mikal's got good hands, and pretty long arms, but I mean he might be.
OG does better against like the stronger wing type players.
Yeah, OG's still quick though, very athletic. Like I think it'll probably be OG, and then like Mikal Bridges will be lurking around trying to intercept some passes from his.
Yeah,
or something
I
like
see that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was the Pacers, I'd try and like deploy Siakam against Karl Anthony Towns because Karl Anthony Towns can move so fast on a drive, and maybe I have Miles Turner's like help defense.
But yeah, what teams have been doing is just putting their center on Josh Hart.
Yeah,
and just leaving him. But he was hitting some shots at the end of that Celtics series, so
yeah, I don't know if he could do.
What happened with Josh Hart's eye? I saw there's like a ton of
getting bumped around.
Yeah, but I thought there was like something that happened. He had like a ton of blood or something.
Oh yeah, he had a black eye. Yeah,
I guess
prayers for Josh Hart.
Another thing that like why depth is important is just kind of the physicality of this playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like star players are getting run down pretty easily
Mm-hmm.
when you can just hit people all the time.
Yeah. And that actually could have an effect on the Knicks if with their like top like starting five because they're playing all crazy minutes.
It was so funny. I saw a meme. It was from Star Wars, and they were just like the whatever those AT walkers or whatever, just firing at the same spot. And Tom Thibodeau not pulling out his starters even when they're up 30.
No, yeah,
Just like
yeah.
acting like this.
My prediction for this series is Pacers in 7.
All right, I got Pacers in 6. Max is Pacers in 7. Chase, you going to mix it up?
I'll go Knicks in 7. How about that?
All right.
I think it could go to 7. And I mean, Knicks do have home court advantage too.
Yeah, it's hard to win in the Garden. Like there are people, but still, like there's some people thriving at like Tyrese Halliburton just needs to become like a Reggie Miller or something like that. Like silence him, hit the choke. Oh, that would be
Spike
so
Lee.
tough. That would be so tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only Pacers, only two like celebrities rooting for the Pacers: Caitlin Clark and Reggie Miller.
All right, moving on.
I'm a celebrity now with this show.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to get your guys' rankings with another level system thing. So we have the duo of Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam here. And I'm going to name 5 duos.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to tell me when to stop. So which level.
All right, I think you need to be a little more specific on like what we're ranking. Like, is it only this playoffs?
It's this current moment.
This current. So
like in the playoffs. It might not all be playoff duos, but
I know what you mean. I'll rank it based on my chakra.
first duo I have is Ja and Jaren of the Memphis
Tweedledee and
Grizzlies.
Tweedledum, although I could say that for a lot of these duos.
hey,
I think those two goobers have earned themselves a spot in the shadow realm easily. Tyrese and Siakam. Siakam shoots better than Ja as someone who's 5 inches taller, at least. And Tyrese Halliburton is a better defender in the playoffs than Jaren. Sorry, John, Jaren. Go back
All
to the
right.
screen.
Your second duo is De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama.
Really
This
not-
in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, one of them's in the playoffs, the other's not. We're going to go with Siakam and Halliburton.
yeah. I mean, I think Fox and Wemby probably have more potential for.
Yeah. I think Tyrese is such a winning player that I'd put him over most guards that a lot of people hype up.
Number 3, I got Dame and Giannis.
Easily Tyrese and. I mean,
I
guess.
don't
I
know.
mean, when you think about the talent, it is
Like,
a conversation, but
Yeah, but they
I'll
just.
just go. They've got such good chemistry, power of friendship. I'll go Tyrese and Siakam.
And I mean, Giannis has definitely showed up, but Dame has kind of been inconsistent.
Okay, I'm not going to hate him. I love Dame, and I'm not going to hate on him for playing like he was playing through. I think he was playing way too early off that injury.
Bucks.
for your 4th level, I have Luka Doncic and LeBron James.
I think they're honestly worse than Giannis and Dame.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, well,
I mean, in terms
they
of like.
both got gentlemen swept in the playoffs, and Giannis is much better than LeBron currently, and like I don't know, especially on the defense. I don't know.
But like in terms of like talent level, you'd
In terms
probably
of
take
talent,
them.
the Lakers definitely have them beat.
Yeah, but I think of probably
But if we're gonna
like
put them over
how they mesh, yeah,
Just like cohesiveness, and just team fit, it definitely looks like Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal.
plus if we're already gonna have like Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam over Dame and Giannis, we'll apply that same logic to the Lakers.
yeah. All right, who's the next duo?
Your 5th duo, Jokic and Murray.
I'm gonna say Jokic and Murray. I think they've got great chemistry, and Jokic is like by far the best player out of any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Right. So where do you think this duo stands at in the league?
In the league?
Just in general, I'd go top 5.
So
maybe.
top 5 is like
I don't know. Actually,
there's
top
Jokic
7.
and Murray in there. There's
I'd say top
Shea,
7.
there's the Thunder. There's who else? The Knicks. Do you
Jalen
think this is
Tweedle-
better than the Knicks duo?
Probably not. I think as much as I love Brunson as a player also, and I think Cat. I don't really like his style of play, but I think he's a really good player. Probably better than Siakam.
All right. What else? Who else is there?
Celtics?
Yeah,
Tatum and
Celtics.
Brown.
Jalen Brown and
Jalen Brown is
Jason
so bad, bro.
I mean, he played decent.
He did play good when Tatum went down, but like,
Yeah.
dude just can't
No.
play make for like
And you could-
anything.
And you could see, like, I'm so happy, like, hopefully that last game shut up all the narratives about Jason Tatum not being
Yes,
needed on
please.
the Celtics. They could not create without him at
Yeah.
all. Like, Jalen
Yeah.
Brown, even though he had, like, 13 points in the first quarter, I was watching him, he had, like, 4 turnovers also. Like, if he couldn't score, he could not do anything else.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's just so underrated as a playmaker, I think. Like,
Well, he can
The
actually
drop
make
off
good
from him to Jaylen Brown is pretty crazy.
and like he could actually make good decisions under pressure when he's being like double teamed and stuff like that. Whereas you could see Mitchell Robinson lock down Jaylen Brown in the perimeter.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
Like Jaylen Brown has just got to find the way to get out of that situation before it happens, and he just doesn't have like that. I mean, he's smarter maybe in academics than Jason Tatum, but Jason Tatum is a smarter basketball
Yeah,
player.
Jaylen Brown is a really smart dude.
But he's a dumbass sometimes on the court.
Yeah,
My bad for that.
I don't know how you're that smart, but like, just don't make smart decisions on the court. It doesn't make sense. All right. Anything to say for the outro?
That's what I'm talking about when I say Siakam would score inside.
Oh, what a
Anything to
pass.
say for the outro?
Stripped.
Never mind. Still a
We're
good
just
pass.
watching highlights now.
Oh yeah,
Oh, what a finish. That's
what a finish.
really
Fighter
nice.
Mitchell. He played through
All right,
injuries.
everybody, like the video, like
Where
the
else?
podcast, or follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, follow our Instagram, follow our
tell a
TikTok,
friend.
tell a friend, follow.
Where else?
I think that's everything. Share.
And as always, peace.
Peace.